Hello everyone, I am Mont 27p and welcome back to the Blackplasma SMP. And oh, yes, that's right. I have a beat-up head. I have two beat-up heads. Okay, I couldn't get a beat-up head because the command didn't work. So if I can't get one, I gotta make it myself. So I made two, myself and that beautiful thing over there. And then next we probably need a scar and a green head, just because why not? Yeah, now I'm getting too much into Minecraft. Anyway, so last episode we built what I called the starter house. However, I've been doing a lot of planning off camera. As you can probably see, I've already done a bit. I do have it on time-lapse and I'll show it after this bit. But I've already started laying out a few other things, including beat-up head. But essentially, this is no longer actually going to be my house. This is going to be something completely different. This is most likely going to be turned into some kind of a communications kind of like tower. I have already a few inspirations for how I actually want to finish that. As I mentioned, I've got to fill out a lot of empty spaces and stuff. I think some of the palette may change, but essentially this is going to change. So I'm actually going to hold off on finishing this a little later till I know exactly what I want to do with it. But I want to make it very telecommunication central, but it's actually going to be essentially the village center, where there's going to be a lot of villages. Going to have, like, you know, communication stuff, and maybe a beacon come out of the center, I don't know. But a lot of things are going to be changing because I have a plan. And again, as you can see, I think last episode I mentioned I was going to change this. I've started changing it already. I'm not obviously going to finish it yet. But in saying that, I have so many plans for this area that I'm probably doing too many ambitious... There's a sign back there. I'm probably doing too many ambitious things that I've gone ahead and created an entire plan for this entire area. So if you direct your attention to the Montopolis, this is essentially an entire layout plan for what I am going to be doing. As you can see over here, I haven't actually planned it, but I have a mega base. Yes, everything. And then we got the tiny yet big trade center over here, and B-Dubs is currently just sitting up here, so I've got a lot to do. This is just plans. I'm not obviously going to be doing a lot of this for a while, but essentially the plan for this series is to just chop away at this plan as I go along. So this should be pretty fun. I do enjoy building, but this is very ambitious, especially the mega base. I have not planned out the structure yet. I want to do some kind of a castle just up over that way, just over there, as the path is going out there. But yeah, a lot of plans, got a lot of terraforming, got a lot of building to do. It's going to be an entire village, as I mentioned last episode. I'm essentially remodeling it, so it should be fun. Maybe a bit stressful, probably getting myself into too much work. But the plan for this episode, minus B-Dub's head aside, is I want to essentially lay out hopefully everything, maybe not, hopefully most of the layout using wool for where I want things to go. And like, I've kind of started here, I've done a bit of the terraforming, and as you probably noticed, I've done a lot of the terraforming here. I'll show them before and after as well. I've terraformed this up, have a little bit of a U shape where people can kind of stand around here. This leads up to what will be a lot of the kind of shops. I want to have a bigger market at the end. I think I've got to do a little more terraforming right here. Yeah, I've got to fill all this in. And there'll be kind of like a lot of other different kind of shops and kind of produce things. Like, I think I want to have my super smelter here. My storage I'll probably have in the mega base over there, depending on how things go. I may have a few. And then, yeah, that will be eventually, that is last priority, but I will be making that look a lot nicer and essentially build, hopefully, a kind of medieval kind of industry looking place. I have no idea how it will look just yet. The castle will most likely also be, oh hello B-Dubs, most likely be stone soil. And right now we're doing this with a B-Dubs head. I don't know why I'm doing this, I just Grian did this all the time, so now I'm doing it, so. Yeah, so I will now, I guess, show the time lapses of what I've done so far, and I will see you on the other side of that, I guess. Also, Optifine Zoom for now. Except before that, here's the epic intro again with the lovely music. And now we can see the time lapse. I don't know why I'm zooming up on that.
like if I don't even talk, I'm just gonna be walking around just so like people can see me in the video. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh, just wild fadeless. I'm just gonna have like a compilation of fade passing Mont while he builds. Mum.
Yes.
No, not you. He's quoting Green.
Look up, buddy, old pal, old chum.
That's pretty cool and all, but
Oh no! Please don't.
please, for the sake of recording.
Where's my dad?
You're not gonna land in. You placed it on this side and you went the opposite way. So, oh no!
Did you see my death?
Nope. No. What? While being a weirdo. There you go.
I hope R3 is finally realizing it.
Well, did he actually die though in his
Yeah,
death?
he actually died.
That adds to the comedy. You didn't even spell Technoblade right.
I know, I did that intentionally.
Technoblade.
This is from command.
What? Okay, now that that stuff is now out of the way, I probably won't necessarily time-lapse everything from now on. I do find they can take a little bit of time, but hopefully people do like the time-lapses because they're pretty cool. I mean, sometimes I may just say what I'm going to work on, then cut back. I think a little bit like what some of the other Hermitcraft members do, but I need to get myself a lot of wool. I need to actually firstly dispose of all these resources. Enjoy the beat-up head, and I'll see you when this is probably not done, or whenever I have something to show for. Anyway, let's go now. I would have stopped taking greens. Let's go. Go now! We go! That's even more terrible. Okay, yep, okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
This is a little joke.
No. Hold on, let me deal with this villager. He's being a pain. Get in there. No!
I think he accidentally found your home. I'm gonna spy on him.
Accidentally? Look in the flippin' SMP map. You can't miss this place.
Is it like a motorbike gang?
No, it's like a vehicle, but it looks like a mini, like... Oh, God.
Oh, I could hear it. My ears.
Sounds like a mini... It looks like a mini, like, monster truck.
And it's
coming
back.
back.
In the olden day.
Yeah, it's back.
Oh, I can hear it. Oh.
I just don't know what to do. I'm in... I forgot to click resume.
Oh, there you are.
Oh my goodness, you sound so muffled. Oh my goodness.
Hard.
You're so far ahead of me, what the hell? And thank you.
Wow, you were like 5 seconds behind.
Hello, it's Mont Grian here, with an update, I suppose, because it's actually been a while between a lot of these time lapses, and yeah, I'm still green with the green head. Probably gonna change to something else sometime with my you know, beautiful beat-up set over there, and you know, got the beat-up set, we got the green head. Guess you have to guess which one's next. I already know which one it is because it's already made. Anyway, yeah, so update, I guess. I've made a few time lapses now. Most of the wool layout for all the areas that I have, again, I'll pull up the kind of map, but I got all the layouts. In the end, I did actually kind of go similar with the kind of colored wool. I've tried to keep rough widths of how I want the path to kind of come along. Each house or kind of industry plot probably will be built slightly off the ground as well. This is kind of going to be like a marketplace of sorts, more so just where I want to sell most of my things. All in this kind of like one area people can come to, kind of like what Grian did with the barge in season 7 of Hermitcraft and, you know, Grian. So this goes all the way out here. I have kind of paths going all around the lake. I wanted to make sure things kind of keep looping back to each other. I think there's still a few paths I need to have. But this is going to be a docks or kind of like harbour place, and a lot of this is going to end up being terraformed. I'm going to be tearing all of this back. I'm going to have kind of like deltas and rivers like leading into here, and eventually there's going to be like kind of like actual like docks, places, kind of cranes putting stuff up onto things, and then this is going to be like the actual like inside of the thing. But I already have a few inspirations on kind of building styles that I want to do. I'll probably be taking a lot of kind of inspiration from a game called Frostpunk. Oh, and would you look at that, I just got some free copper. I don't know where that came from. So heading back up here, obviously now the portal is gone because I have moved it, and again I will cover that in a second. So green is for kind of vegetation, yellow is for paths, blue is for water. All this will have water in it eventually, and all this kind of leads up to where the city, this is kind of like the outer city to what will be the mega base. Orange is kind of like residence housing. This winds a little further up there, but eventually it's going to wind back and it's going to start climbing up on a terraformed massive platform. But in this episode I still hope to do not all of the terraforming, but at least the layout for where I want the platform. Probably getting a little too far out of myself. I've actually gone ahead and started doing a little bit of kind of terraforming and kind of texturing, specifically with the portal. I've been meaning to build the portal for a while, but the actual active portal was over there. That one's been moved now. This one's all kind of nice and decorated now. There's actually still a few things I want to do with it. Add a little kind of sugarcane and bamboo kind of patches along. There's a few things again I still want to do, but adding that kind of decoration, adding the texturing, with moss, grass, and even green wool is actually like a decent block to texture with. Currently that is the update of it now, so the next task that I want to do is, I guess, trying to tackle the outline of the mega base. But let's, I guess, hop into a time lapse. As is tradition for me to steal poor Grian's intro into time lapses, specifically since I have green set on. Let's go! So after a few days of delays among internet problems and just doing projects, I'm finally back on, thankfully. But I've actually, I forgot half the stuff that I did. So essentially, I want to wrap up the end of this video now. I've got the layout of everything, or most things that I'm hoping to finish by the end of this episode. And the last thing that I did in those time lapses right here is the kind of layout for what will eventually be my mega base. Now I don't really have plans for what I want the mega base to be exactly. I know I want something that's very medieval inspired, something like a castle, but very specifics on like kind of block types and the structure. I don't really have any ideas on just yet. So up from the top, yeah, I mean, it's pretty big. It goes all the way over there. It's not going to just drop straight off. There'll be kind of like a few kind of tapering off kind of cliffs and then platforms and then like another cliff kind of thing. Now I covered most of the other stuff in the kind of past updates, as you obviously give the time lapses another watch. But overall, this episode has really been, well, essentially just layouts. I've been laying out all the different wool, and then I started laying out all the kind of town layout, including a lot of kind of more wood industry kind of stuff over here, or more lumber based kind of businesses over here, I suppose. All these are pretty much for the aesthetic. But yeah, so that's basically everything that I did this episode, I think. It was really just establishing the layouts, that and also the portal. A lot of other things are going to look very different to this, but I wanted to go for a kind of natural looking circular portal, and I think it turned out pretty good. But again, as I mentioned earlier, I've still got a few things to do on that. I want to figure out the color palettes for a lot of different things, including the pathways, the kind of buildings over there. But this is going to be a project that's going to be worked on for likely quite some time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be a good year or so. I'm not a big builder. I don't proclaim myself to be a builder, minus this speed up said. But I think it'll be interesting to try and push myself to do something really ambitious. Also, for reference, this is technically the biggest house I've like ever built, by the way. And it's not even that great. Like, honestly, it could be a lot better. It's kind of flat. Obviously, I haven't finished it. It's going to be a lot different. But if that's the biggest thing I've ever built, how big is that going to be? What am I doing to myself? What am I doing? Anyway, regardless, it should hopefully be pretty fun. Again, I probably will get involved in lore at some point. Like, I'll show up here and there. I think lore at the moment is very whatever the people who are involved in it is kind of up to. A lot of people kind of contributing here and there, which is a little more interesting, probably less so BPS related, but like it's interesting. So obviously my buddy Fade, like, you know, go check him out. He does a few lore things. There's a few other people, there's a lot of other people actually doing lore. Best Bean's always got his cookies, of course. I'm a little lost on exactly what I want to do next episode. There's actually a lot of different things I want to do. One of the main ones being determining exactly where I want this river to be and kind of everything leading up to the docks, not necessarily building the docks, although that is also a plan within itself. But regardless, I think at least how I'm going to start the next episode is starting to actually kind of properly build certain things up. I want to do the immediate area, so kind of like all these farms, figuring out particularly like the paths and maybe actually removing some of these paths and doing some tests. And figuring out like the color palettes and gradients that I want to use on different things. I may actually also figure out what I want to do with this. But yeah, we'll see. I'll figure out what I'm doing next episode. Very, very, very strange. Very strange. You're in my outro now. Rats. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to close this episode with me looking at Posey, one of the other, lore members. So, anyway, see you guys, and of course enjoy the lovely B-Dub set and the Grian face, of course. I've got to do a proper outros. I'm terrible at them, so I shall see you all next time. Bye! And here we see a wild Spiel putting on his netherite armor. He grabs out a backpack. He runs away after just having come out of my house. He runs back. He spots the Mont through the grass. And I sneak, so I can see his eyeballs, and we both sneak. We start doing a weird dance. And now, the Mont runs away because he gets scared.